Hello, my name is Steve, and I like to make self-development simple, enjoyable, achievable. Oftentimes when I watch YouTube videos or I read books, there's a long list of complex steps one has to take in order to achieve results. Writing out your goals in major detail and having a chart every day that you're tracking your progress and breaking your goals down into subtasks and blocking out time on which you're going to work on your goals on each day. And what I found is that the more complicated we make things, the less we're going to succeed, the less we're going to do them. We want to minimize the amount of resistance and barriers and friction in accomplishing what we want out of our lives. That's one of the reasons why Amazon is so successful. They've removed the friction out of shopping. You could just press one button and you're done, and that order will arrive at your house within 2 days or so. And that's what we want to do with our lives. We think that the answer to our struggles, so if you're struggling with certain types of addictive behaviors, you're struggling with discipline, you're struggling with consistency, you're struggling with habits and achieving your goals, the thing we focus on actually oftentimes will steer us astray. And what we focus on, okay, I need a better method, I need a better system, I need to read another book, I need to download another app, I need to just buck up and do it. I need to just attack the goal and get it done, and accomplishment, and get over it and not be lazy. And those are not the things that are actually going to lead to long-term success. Now, what we're focused on here is long-term consistent success. Consistency is the name of the game. I tell all my clients, so I'm a life coach, full-time life coach, quick plug. If you want affordable coaching, the consultation's free. The first session is 50% off. There's absolutely no obligation. It's pay session by session, and the sessions after that are extremely affordable. I've been doing this for 10 years. I have a lot of experience. I study, I read, and I make sure that I am able to provide a lot of value for my clients. And everybody benefits from life coaching, so I encourage you to give it a try. We always have excuses. I've had clients that said, I've been watching your video for 4 years. I've been watching your videos for 6 years, 2 years. And there's some reason why they didn't contact me. Usually it's just a rationalization, fear, whatever. I encourage you to give it a try. All right, so back to the topic. What people, I get a lot of clients that they're like, I'm not self-disciplined. I can't stick to things. I struggle with motivation. And we all do to one degree or another. But the solution actually helps perpetuate the problem. And what we will instead want to focus on are the core things, simple things. And I just really love simple strategies because those are the ones that work. Simple things that will have a big impact. And for example, sleep. If my clients say, hey, Steve, I only want to work on one goal, what is the one goal that will give me the biggest return on energy and time invested? It's not even close. Sleep is absolutely essential. So when you're struggling with staying consistent in your self-discipline or engaging in bad habits that you want to break, check your sleep. And it's just like fuel for a car or energy for your phone. If you are running low, everything else is going to be affected. The ripple effect is absolutely huge. When you don't get good sleep, you are less likely to eat healthy. You'll go to carbs and sugar and those quick energy fix foods that later cause you to crash. You will not feel the desire to be disciplined and motivated with what your to-do lists or your habits or whatever you have planned for the day. You'll be moodier. You'll be more discouraged. You'll just feel flat. And sleep, there's so many important areas of sleep. Going to bed because a lot of people just focus on how many hours of sleep. they get a night and think, oh, I get 7, 8 hours. Well, that's not the entire picture. It's the quality of sleep that you get. I struggle with sleep issues, and I know that when I get my sleep dialed in or I have a good night's sleep, it makes a world of difference in so many. I'm also much more patient, and just overall well-being is higher. And so that's the first thing you ask yourself is, I'm struggling with motivation. I'm struggling with feeling good about myself, feeling good about life. Let me check my sleep. And the things you want to check is consistent bedtime, consistent wake up time, your quality of sleep. Now with all these devices, I use an Apple Watch, and Sleepwatch is a good app that will help to track your sleep and give you a rating and things like that. So there's things you could do to measure your sleep, but man, is it gonna make a big, big difference. And you could do some, Google research on your own. This is not the point of this video, but just simple things like stress will affect your sleep. Alcohol consumption will affect your sleep. If you have noise, you want to wear earplugs. If you have light coming in, that'll affect your sleep. If you're staring at screens before bed, that'll affect your sleep. So it's really, really essential. The second thing that when we are struggling with motivation and discipline is to look at the why. Why is it that we're doing what we want to do? And I get so many clients that will come to me to coaching and will say, I want to accomplish this, I want to accomplish that. And when we dig a little bit deeper, it's what I call a wish list goal. They'd love to do it, but they don't have the desire to pay the price in order to achieve that goal. Like would love to drive a Ferrari. Not really, but let's use that as an example. I'd love to drive a Ferrari, but not if it means I have to wear a suit and tie on a Saturday and Sunday and work 60, 70 hours a week. So there are things that we wish we would have, but in actuality, we don't have the desire to put forth the effort and make the sacrifice in order to accomplish those things. And when you separate those goals, or those called the wish list goals, and you put them in a box and you say, hey, I'm not ready to pay that price now. Let me revisit them in the future. Then it frees you up and allows you to focus on the things that you're actually willing to pay the price for. And some clients will want to go to the gym, and they just will struggle with the gym, and we'll work on, let's find an alternative exercise that you will enjoy, and that's going to be a lot less friction and a lot less effort. So it's all about removing the friction, removing the resistance, and focusing on things where you have a strong enough why. Because clients will work on a goal, and they might even accomplish the goal, and they're like, I thought I was going to be much happier, much more fulfilled, and much more satisfied. And then it's a red flag. We got a deeper issue going on. But goals and habits and self-discipline, that's not the whole picture of having a fulfilled life. And it's really important to have balance, and you have a limited amount of energy, a limited amount of time, a limited amount of resources. So choose your goals very wisely and give up the ones that are not going to happen, that you've tried over and over and over, and they're not going to happen. Some clients will say, I want to weigh a certain weight. And I go, okay, well, we're going to have to, track what you're eating. You're going to have to not keep any, junk food in the house. You're going to have to cut down on your alcohol consumption. You're going to have to order salads more frequently when you go out to eat. When you go socializing at parties and stuff like that, you're going to have to eat beforehand, so you're not healthy food beforehand, so you're not going to go in hungry. And they'll go, oh my gosh, maybe I don't want to lose weight that bad. And so it's really important for us to be honest with ourselves. And then, like I said, then we could be like a laser and focus on what we're willing to do. The next thing is relying on how you feel. Now, so let's say we're eating well, so we're having good energy. I didn't really touch on that, but that's really important to fuel yourself. And we're sleeping well, and we have a strong enough why of why we want to do the specific goal that we're wanting to accomplish. The next thing is feeling unmotivated. What do we do on the days that we just absolutely feel unmotivated? We just don't have the desire to do the goal. And this is where people really fall down because they approach their goals or habits or tasks with an all or nothing mindset. Either I have to do it 100%. For example, I was working with I'm not going to do it. And for example, I was working with a client today, and he wants to meet more friends and socialize and eventually start dating and things like that. And he went out socializing, and he's more introverted, unique personality, feels uncomfortable, in groups and things like that. And someone had made a comment to him that, oh, you're not talking. You should drink. You should have something to drink so you loosen up. And he took that really to heart. And that made him feel down and discouraged and like, oh my God, I'm not good, socially. What's wrong with me? And beating himself up. And then it discourages him for doing things like that in the future. And what we want to instead focus on is, as Woody Allen said, 80% of life is just showing up. We just want to show up. We want to lower the bar of what we set as an expectation upon ourselves and look at showing up and going to that event that he went to. That's the victory. And when you lower the bar, when you're not all or nothing, when you don't see yourself as, oh, I failed because I was not communicative enough in the social gathering, when you're gentler on yourself, when you're not pressuring yourself, pushing yourself, engaging in perfectionistic behaviors, you'd be amazed how your motivation and desire to do these things blossoms, and you have a strong enough why. It really is a game changer. And what we want to do is go into these situations with the bar really low. Like I'll tell my clients, like just showing up, even if you go to a meetup event or you go to a social event, you show up and 10 minutes later you want to leave. You go to the gym, you show up in you do 5-10 minutes of workout and you want to leave. That's a victory, because what we're doing is we're building momentum and we're building the habit. People, especially this day and age, we're so impatient. If we don't get the results that we want immediately, if we don't see benefits, if we don't feel like we're changing, if we have small setbacks, we get discouraged, demotivated, and then quit. And that's not the secret sauce in order to accomplish things in life. It's just keeping it very, very simple, doing things which I teach my clients is like 5-minute minimums. If you're resistant to a task, just do 5 minutes. The hardest part is starting. And so whatever it is, don't rely on the motivation. The motivation and desire to do things comes after you do the thing that you're resistant to doing, or while you're doing it. The hardest part for me is just simply starting. That is the hardest part. And if I were to wait, I got to wait until I'm motivated to get started, I would not start so many things. And it's like, it's your secret weapon. Just show up, just start the task, set a timer, and after 5 minutes you want to quit, allow yourself to quit. I've talked about this in other videos, but I call it the one dish philosophy. I do all the washing up of dishes, and there's a pile of dishes. And I'm like, oh my God, and pots and pans and things like that. I'm like, I do not feel like washing dishes. So I'll just say I'm going to wash, and I have no motivation, absolutely no motivation to wash the dishes. And I'll go, I'm just going to wash one dish. If I want to quit, I'll quit. And I wash one dish. And I'd say probably about 80% of the time, I end up washing all the dishes. About 10% of the time, I'll end up washing maybe half the dishes and do the rest the next morning. And maybe another 10% of the time, I'm like, nope, there's no gas. I have no desire to do this, even though I started, and I'll wash only one dish and then stop and then do it the next day. So really be gentle with yourself. And what we're focused on, are you making progress? Small little baby steps, the Kaizen way, just small little baby steps lead to just phenomenal change over a long period of time. Another thing I teach clients is just the 2%. If you do it 2% each month, if you make a 2% improvement each month, whatever it is that you're working on, whatever goal that you want to achieve, even if it's a financial goal, you earn 2% more, work on earning 2% more every month. Within 2 years, that's close to a 50% increase. We all can do that. We all can do that 2%, and we all would love to have that reward at the end of 2 years, to be able to look back and go, you know what, I stuck with this consistently, I was patient, I didn't rely on motivation, and I was able to achieve what I want. The last thing that really helps people is environment. Stop relying on things like motivation, self-discipline, willpower, passion. Those things come and go. They're very, very fleeting. And if we depend on them, we're going to stay stuck, or what a lot of people do is we yo-yo. We'll start a goal, we'll stop a goal, we'll start it again, and we'll go even stronger. Then we won't be able to stick with it, and we'll stop it. Like yo-yo dieting, we do that with our goals. And we really want to avoid that. So I have some clients that struggle with eating too many potato chips, for example, or alcohol, or sugar, and or even just things like exercising. And so what you want to do is create the environment so you don't have to rely on willpower and self-discipline. So if you remove those, just simple, just remove those things from your house and say, okay, you know what, I'm going to only allow myself to eat junk food or have a treat or have a chocolate or something like that outside of the house. Then you're not going to have to rely on willpower and self-discipline because it's not available. Or you pre-prep your food. That's one thing I love to do is we pre-prep the food, and then I have food for a long period of time it's just so easy. Just go in the refrigerator, put on a plate, heat it up, and I have healthy food in a matter of minutes versus saying, oh my God, I got to cook a meal, I got to slice vegetables, and it's going to take a half hour or so, and then I'm going to be resistant to that, and then I'm going to just go to the junk food. So it's again about removing friction. Things like if you want to exercise, getting a partner, a workout partner, having some sense of accountability, parking your car, far so you're able to get a little bit of walking in, or just getting rid of the car and or having one car in the family and just doing as much walking and cycling. So environment will really shape you for success. I also work with university students. I tell them, have a set place, have a desk, and the night before, have all your work set out that needs to be done. All you need to do is sit down and you could just dive in to the assignment that you have to do. Setting timers is really effective. I have something called a cube timer, and I'll just set a cube timer and I'll say like, okay, I'm going to work on this for 5 minutes. I'm going to work on this for 15 minutes. When your brain knows that it's a short duration that's going to end, it's going to be a lot less resistant. But if you have that environment, or even getting out of the house, we're a lot more productive when we get out of the house, when we're not so accustomed to being relaxed and comfortable. There's so many little tweaks that are very, very simple that yield huge benefits and rewards. All right, thanks again. And just a final closing, if you did want coaching, send me an email. And it's very friendly, it's very easygoing, and it's fun. It's something that clients really enjoy and benefit. And I want to thank all my subscribers. Hit the like button if you did enjoy this video, and maybe share it with someone. If you want to contribute to the channel, there's a PayPal link in the description. And thank you for all your support, and wish you a wonderful day and week. Bye-bye.